Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have an amazing guest who has joined us today. Her name is Shyamala. She's a very dear student of mine from Hustlepost Academy. And today she has taken time out of her busy schedule to share her journey with all of you. So, very, very warm welcome, Shyamala. Thank you for agreeing to do this.
Thank you so much, Saloni. I'm so blessed to be a part of this academy, and I have never imagined also that I would come this far. If it was not for HPA's guidance, I don't think I would have made it. So thank you so much for adding me here and considering me as one student who can help other students start their freelancing journey.
Thank you. Thank you. No, of course, you were at the top of our list. So, so Shyamala, for people who are hearing from you for the very first time, if you could give us a quick introduction.
Sure. So I am Shyamala, but I specialized in dentistry. I finished my undergraduate in dental surgery from the topmost dental colleges in the country, that is Government Dental College, Bangalore. But eventually, I did pass out with the dream of continuing dentistry, but things turned upside down with COVID happening, not once but twice. So COVID really did not give me an other option to survive because dentistry was completely shut down, which is when I thought for me to own a clinic, it will cost me a bank, which I
Yeah.
was not able to afford. So I was anyway good at writing, only to make a career out of it. Or I didn't know, I did not come with the intention of making a career. I
Yeah.
thought, let me give it a shot. And then I joined the academy, and there was no turning back. I
Yeah.
did not go back to dental surgery after coming to HPA.
Yeah, that's exciting, because studying dental surgery is not a joke, right? It's not something you can learn in like a couple of classes, or there's no crash course for it. Like you really put in your hard work, even to get into a college of the kind of level of college that you were in, it requires a lot of hard work. So now that, you are doing other things, do you have no plans of going back, or you never say no?
No, I don't have plans of going back, I would say, because of the freedom that I earned here in this freelancing space. I can have complete control over my time, where I'm spending time,
Yeah,
also the location freedom that it gives me. When it comes to a clinic, I have to be in one single place.
that's correct.
I don't think I can sign up for something like that because I've tasted the freedom right now and I'm so addicted to this zone. I don't want to go
Yeah, I
back.
agree. Yeah, I know this freedom is very addictive. It really does. Like it's so difficult to go back to like the normal life after this.
Yes.
Awesome. So Shamila, you said you studied medicine, and then from there you transitioned to content writing. What was the motivation? Like why content writing specifically?
I used to be a good kid at writing, so my writing journey started. The intention was nowhere to make money or to build a side hustle or to make it full-time profession. So in my school days also, I was a left out kid kind of thing. I barely had any friends because my wavelength was very different to what other people were
Yeah,
matching at or vibing at. So I started writing a diary kind of thing. So
right.
my writing started from there, from school. And eventually, when I came to college, also, I used to travel. It was almost 1 hour journey in the bus. I was really bored of seeing the scenery, same scenery every single day. So I quickly used to write poems and poetries on the way to school or on the way to college. So every single day, writing became a practice to me. If I
Hmm.
went to college, this number of days in a month or this number of days in a year, that many poetries were there in my phone. I used to write it in the phone. Good thing I always used to write in the internet space and not having a secret diary and not having an online presence is not what I did for myself.
Yeah.
So from there, because I had a grip in writing when COVID turned my world upside down, I thought maybe I should get a mentor who could teach me if I could leverage my skills a little more and maybe see if I could earn something out of it. That was
Yeah.
the motivation.
Got it. Yeah, makes sense because I know a lot of people, who were just genuinely good at writing, and English was like their favorite subject in school. And
Yeah.
sometimes people think they, because of the career options that are usually offered to us in India, we kind of move away from all of that slowly.
Yeah.
Because if you're good at English and you're good at science, then you are pushed to choose science over
Yes.
in India. That's just the culture.
Yes.
So, it's great that even after studying science, you got an opportunity to come back and explore this side of you because,
Yeah.
I've seen your writing and you are truly gifted. You're very good at what you do.
Thank
Uh,
you.
so, Shamal, I think a lot of people want to get started in the world of writing, right? They really do want to get started. But I think the bigger worry that they have is, will anyone pay me? Will I ever get hired? Who will pay me? There are so many writers already. So there are a lot of roadblocks like this. So what was your journey like? How did you start finding paying clients?
Yes. So there are two versions of stories again. Before HPA, what was the story like, and after HPA, what was the story like?
Yeah.
Before HPA, I had no direction. I had no clarity. I didn't even know that content and copywriting is such highly paid thing or in demand thing. So I just had some Facebook account, and there were some content writers needed groups that I joined, and anybody pitches something, I used to reply. And because I had the fear of missing out on that opportunity, I used to get sold for as low as 10 paise per word, 20 paise per word. If others are quoting 30 paise, chalo, let me quote 10 paise. My intention was to win that gig.
Yeah.
This was
Yeah.
before HPA, and there was no, I did not know there's something called as portfolio. I didn't know there's something called as authority, thought leadership, all of these. After coming to HPA, that is when I realized this is not what I really want to do for myself. And then I stepped up the game. And now it is very good, I would say. Now there's no comparison between two versions of me. So
Wow,
that was
that's
how
amazing.
I got my first freelancing client before HPA for 10 paisa per word, and I did not even get paid properly. The client ghosted me. All of those things happened. But
Yeah.
after HPA, I'm not settling for less than 5 rupees per word or something like that. It really depends again on the industry, on the experience it demands, on the research skills that are needed, all of those things.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
Indian client or US client, all of those things.
Perfect. Yeah. I mean, exactly that power of strategy, and especially,
Yes.
somebody like you. I mean, medical writing is massive. There is massive demand for it. The problem is that medical writing, a lot of companies still get it done from people who are not from the medical background, right? So the content that comes out, for example, I come from a completely different, I come from a business and marketing background. If somebody tells me to write about heart surgery, how am I supposed to write it? I
Yes.
will only rely on like 4 or 5 Google articles. I will find some information, I'll create the article and I'll send it. It will be fine, but it can never match the quality of article that will come out from somebody who has actually spent time, studying that field in detail. So you bring in that expertise of, having spent time in like a medicine school in all of that. So that expertise has to be rewarded. I mean, it's weird to me that, that expertise won't be rewarded. So I'm glad that you're getting paid what is truly worth the kind of skills that you bring to the table. So if somebody, there are many doctors I know who are kind of looking to have like a side hustle. Maybe a lot of them don't have the opportunity to set up their own clinic, and for the same reasons that you mentioned, that it is tough to set it, it's going to cost you a bomb to set up your own clinic, etc. So if they want to start a side hustle, is medical writing a lucrative profession? And if yes, like what can they do to get started?
Yes. Medical writing itself is a very broad niche. So I would say because I had a passion of writing in the rare disease space, so I niched down. Though it was very difficult for me to land clients, I'm known for it now.
Mm,
So the first thing what any other medical professional should keep in mind is, do they want to start broad or do they want to start with a specialty?
correct.
That itself will eliminate other options for them, because now when I started off, I tried writing for dental clinics. Somehow that did not work for me. And then I expanded and wrote for cosmetology. That did not work for me. It's a lot of experimentation that you have
Correct.
to do, and the willingness to go that far to
Mm,
figure out what really works for you.
got
Also, the expectation that the first thing will be the best thing is also a very wrong thing, because
true.
you really have to try and have that patience with yourself to build the life of your own dreams.
Correct.
Also, when it comes to the latest developments in the medical writing, there are so many other branches like pharmacovigilance, and now clinical trials industry is also blooming. So you really have to at least try to write for these categories to know what is really easy for you.
Yeah.
So skill is picking the easiest task and then scaling it from there.
Correct, correct. Agreed, 100% agreed. And this, what you mentioned, is very important takeaway for my audience members today, that be willing to experiment, because it's not, this journey is not a straight line that you get
Yes.
started today and tomorrow like amazing things will start happening. No, that it's going to be like, it's a sine curve, and that's what we all have to live with, and that's the reality. Because if you come in with the wrong expectation, then you will realize that you will get demotivated very quickly, and
Yes.
you'll stop the journey, and you will it and by stopping that journey, you will essentially be robbing yourself of your dream life that you can
Yes.
possibly fully built. So that's awesome. Shamala, one important thing that you mentioned was, you had experience working with bad clients as well,
Yes.
where the things didn't work out as you expected. And this also is a very common worry that people have getting into the freelancing world, because, they're on social media, people keep sharing that, oh, I got ghosted, or I worked with a toxic client, etc. What can somebody do to avoid getting into these kind of traps?
First thing is try to take the upper hand when you're trying to get on a discovery call.
Yeah,
So you need to be, it's always better if you be the one to talk and tell, hey, see, this is what I can bring to the table. This is what I can deliver. If this is interesting to you, we can take it forward. It should be that kind of communication and not, okay, you want this, I can do this. So I can do this at this price, but I also can do this. Don't take so many narratives. You
yeah,
just say that this is what my skill set is, this is what I can bring. If this sounds interesting, we can take it forward from there.
yeah,
First thing, have the right kind of expectations and communication. Second thing is, I really had a very bad time with receiving payments. I had to go on sending repeated reminders, and sometimes that also never used to come my way. So I would say have a contract in place so that both of you are starting the right professional journey together,
yeah, yeah. That's
not based on assumptions.
Yeah, that's very true. Agreed. And these are golden inputs, right? Don't let negative experiences of a few people stop you. Yes, there are good and bad clients that exist in the market. That's the reality for any industry anywhere on earth. But with the right strategy, with the right approach, you can at least avoid getting into,
Yes.
these kind of situations. So that's very true. Awesome. Shamla, you have been able to build a pretty solid brand for yourself on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn is a place where you even found quite a lot of your international clients. So what is that secret? Because like a lot of people want to get started on LinkedIn. What was your journey like there?
My journey began with a lot of self-doubt because LinkedIn was something which was very Latin and Greek to me.
Hmm.
So, but then I took that LinkedIn power up, and then because my strength was writing, and for me to start with Instagram, it was a lot of effort to do that design and to
Correct.
write that copy and then hashtag strategy, mainly the design part. Because
Yeah.
though I know a bit of design, Instagram is morely people see designs and carousels,
Yeah.
barely there is a caption. But
True.
that was not my strength. My strength was in writing. For me to sit and design the same thing in a carousel format would take hours together.
Correct.
So I played according to my strengths because writing was something which I could do easily with less time. So I focused on LinkedIn. And even now, there are some posts which really don't perform. Even now, there are some posts which don't speak to anybody. But I would say, even if I started with self doubt, I overcame that.
Yeah.
So the idea is to just get started, and there's no way we are going to go below this.
Yeah.
We are
Yeah.
already starting at the bottommost point. We can only grow higher.
Yeah.
Have the right mindset on LinkedIn, I would say, and don't use LinkedIn as you use Instagram. The
Yeah. Yeah. There's a
approach
big
has to
difference.
change.
Yeah, exactly. True. And I see this mistake from a lot of people where, they try to treat LinkedIn also as a very visual platform.
Yes.
LinkedIn is a professional thought leadership building platform for people. Like if you have something meaningful and valuable to say, that's the place. Like if your decision makers are there, it can be a gold mine. And, it has worked very well for you
Yes.
in terms of finding clients as well. So that's awesome. And, like, when you talk about finding clients via LinkedIn, what has worked for you? Do people reach out to you, or are you also open to reaching out to your potential clients?
Not a single client I reached out to on LinkedIn till date. So
Hmm.
far, I got inbound clients because I follow a different technique that was taught to me. I don't go on random pitching, have a same pitch proposal for everybody and
Yeah.
send it to some 100 people and see if one converts. That was not what I followed. So instead, I took a different approach. That is, supposedly, if this month I want to attract these 10 people, I used to make a list of them and comment on their posts, engage on their posts, and try to identify what problem they are having or where they are feeling stuck, and then showcase your expertise in their comment section, then drag them to your DMs, build a relationship. And then that is when I thought of saying, yeah, this is what I do. The idea is to make them ask questions, and they should be the one to ask what you're doing, how come you know
Yeah.
this much, and then you put your proposal. That worked for me instead of me
Yeah.
directly going and reaching out to. So
Correct. Correct. Also, this way you always have an upper hand in the conversation. Like, you are the authority and you get to negotiate from that point as well. So that is always helpful. So very true. I totally agree with you. Awesome. Shamila, a lot of doctors, like I said, want to get started in the medical writing space. A lot of them reach out to me also. As somebody who has a lot of experience in this space, give us a realistic idea of like what kind of earning potential can a medical writer have, like from early days going up to like once they become slightly more experienced, what can they possibly expect to earn?
Yes. You can quote as high as you want, provided your research skills are really good.
Yeah.
The idea for medical content writing is it demands a lot of patience. That being said, you really need to be a good reader and read so many other articles, do a lot of research, and then make notes. And then if you have the bandwidth to do all of those, then I would say sky is the limit. But if you are somebody who is looking to just get started and see if it's working or not, then pick a easier niche and get started from there.
Yeah.
I can say people still accept 3 rupees per word, 2 rupees per word sort of deals, but there are also people who charge 10 rupees per word, depends on the research. The same
Correct.
topic, the kind of output they give is different.
Correct, correct. That's very fair, and I completely agree with you on this particular part as well. So, Shamila, one interesting thing that I want to discuss is you started as a medical writer in the content writing space, and you pivoted to becoming a marketing strategist now. So, what was that journey like? Like, how did you get into all of in such a lucrative space?
Yeah, because the company where I was freelancing demanded that skill from me, or they saw the interesting fact is always showcase yourself as a curious learner.
Hmm.
So that takes you far. You should be open to believing that you can still learn more and bring more to the table.
Yes.
Also, I used to quote references from this book and that book. So that made them believe that, okay, this girl is really interested in knowing a lot more and
Yeah.
always quoting the right references and not hypothesizing it. So
Hmm.
if marketing has worked for somebody else, it can work for us also, provided we do the right things.
Yeah.
So I was doing all of this. That's when they thought, okay, if I was good in taking the smallest step.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
bigger plan, break down to smaller step, and then take action only on that step. Till that step is done, don't think of the second step. So
Yeah.
this was my approach. So they thought, okay, she's really good in strategically thinking. That was when it came to me. Again, I did not know that there's something called strategy which I could explore, but because it demanded, that's when I learned it. And I really love it now.
Yeah, yeah. And you're very good at it also. I've seen the kind of strategy and the work that you are doing for your clients. And I always feel very excited to see all of your work because like you really bring in a lot of value for your clients. And I think that's why, I think this is the sign of a good freelancer. And I think a lot of people, instead of, trying to find out how much can I earn, what is the earning potential, I think try and like the right question to ask is how can I become a top quality freelancer? Like, how can
Yes.
I offer quality? Because if you are a quality freelancer, if you can do high quality work, then the work is going to come to you. It is just going to come to you. There is that much work in the market, and there are people constantly seeking quality freelancers. So work like it has shown, like the work has shown up for you. I think it will show up for others as well if they are just really good at what they do.
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. So, thank you for sharing all of this experience. I'm sure, beginners would find a lot of inspiration from this. One quick last thing that I would like you to highlight on. There are a lot of people who reach out to me and they want to join Hustlepost Academy. But I think what would help them make a better decision is if they hear the experience from somebody who has been through the process. Because I'm obviously going to say good things about the academy, but the honest truth can come from real students. So if you could share your HPA experience in a short this thing.
Sure, I would love to. I joined HPA with an expectation to explore and not directly make six figures. That was something that I came with. And second thing is, I was desperately wanting to meet people who would match my wavelength because I barely interacted with people who knew content creation because I was coming from medical background. They
Yeah,
were into rat race, like
yeah,
this exam, this competition, let me study. So creativity was not something that they could nurture. So
Correct.
I was looking for a community that could nurture creativity and exploration, that let's try something new kind of vibe. So with that expectation, I came, and it really worked for me. I would say not just the lessons, not just the group calls and mentoring. For me, finding the right community of people who would cheer for me really helped me a lot. Somehow we underestimate that, thinking
Yeah.
we are lone wolves, but not necessary that we should be alone in our journey.
Yeah.
So it gave me wonderful people who are so non-judgmental, who really, I learned a lot of value from them as well, because
Yeah.
everybody is different in their niche. So I learned visual identity, I learned a bit of copywriting on interacting, and the conversation around is very helpful. It's not about who what did and why they did. All of those unnecessary things are not there. It's about really willing to help each other grow. That
Yeah.
really helped me. And my experience was that you will lose out on a lot of things if you don't ask your questions, if
Yeah.
you don't come for group calls, if you don't attend those live calls especially. I think you're just keeping your doubts to yourself and losing out on a lot of information, because
True.
so far nobody has laughed at my doubts in
Mhm.
HPA. So far nobody has made me feel smaller. No matter how small the doubt is, it was really nurtured and made me feel that yes, I could do it. That was my experience. So
Okay.
don't think you need to be somewhere in the field to get into this niche. Even if you are in level minus infinity, you please join, because nothing bad is going to come. That's for sure.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Shamala. Thank you for sharing it. I'm truly honored. Your words really mean a lot to us. And thank you for taking time out and sharing your amazing journey with our audience members today, because I'm sure there is someone out there who you've inspired today by the answers you've given. I'm sure there is a doctor sitting somewhere who will feel inspired to, take a different route if they are creative and they're feeling lost in their journey. I'm sure your interview will help them. So thank you. I'm truly grateful.
Thank you, Saloni. Thank you. I'm grateful to HPA.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Shamala's social media, blog, etc. Everything's linked in the description. Make sure that you check it out. Give her a follow. She creates amazing content. And I will see you next time with the next interview. Bye.